Okay, so we're back again with the sad Sperry-Remington EDC 3, Sperry-Rand. Anyway, one of the interesting things that I noticed about this, that this thing was shipped from California, or no, Florida. It came from Florida. There's a tag on here. Tri-County Business Machines, Norristown, Pennsylvania. So it started life in Pennsylvania, and hopefully will be coming back to life in Pennsylvania, or else it will end its life in Pennsylvania. One or the other. But I had to go already at some of the switches and the keyboard, because some of, like, this thing, I don't know where it's been in a barn, who knows, but it's rusty inside. The keys would stick, which I wasn't really concerned about, and it sounds like a typewriter because it kind of is like a typewriter. But I don't have to worry about contact cleaning on the switch, the keys anyway, because this actually uses a Hall effect sort of mechanical reed switch connections, which are sealed completely in a little glass bubble, which appear to all be intact, which unfortunately those are the only glass bubbles that are intact, because we'll take off what's left of the cover here, and I have already extracted the smashed Nixie tube, but this one, this one, this one, and that one all have broken connections, and of course they are broken right at the glass, so that's not going to be able to be repaired. So hopefully I'll be able to find replacements or equivalents, which shouldn't be too hard. But anyway, and these switches here, these three switches, were completely rusted shut. They didn't work at all, and they still don't work too well, but at least they work. And power switch, decimal point, which is a rotary switch here, which looks in fairly good condition. This whole logic unit is loose, so I'm assuming somebody has had a go at this already. I'm not positive. The fuses seem to be okay. I've checked. There's a small fuse back here, which you kind of push it in, turn it, and wiggle it a little bit. It comes out here. This fuse is okay, and I have yet to check this fuse here, which I am assuming is the main fuse, which I will go ahead and test now. Okay, so let's get on to the logic boards, make sure that there's no obvious shorts or anything, and see if there's a way where I can disconnect the power supply from the logic boards to test that first. So I'm going to go undo some screws, and we'll be... Okay, so we've got the screws out of the logic assembly, and something I was noticing, I was like, why are there these shims stuck in here between the boards, like to shim them out or something? But they're not shims. They're actually hinges. They are spring steel that has rusted and degraded over time and simply snapped. And because these two here are intact and these two here are intact, whereas this one here snapped and this one here, and this one snapped. So anyway, we'll be extremely careful here. So we've got the top board, which is the Nixie controller, flips up, and there's a little bit of gunk over here, but everything looks relatively good so far. You just have to be extremely careful to try not to snap any of these flex terminals in the back. Oh, this one's kind of gungy. I don't know if that's bug guts or just leftover solder flux or what, but as you can see, these are fairly simple. There's not much to it, and it's all DTL. Oh, there's a crystal up here. What's that crystal? I can't see. 2 megahertz? 1 megahertz? Not sure. Anyway, but it's all DTL, diode transistor logic. Basically, all these chips are going to be his diodes and transistors, and not much else. I think that's just leftover flux residue from what it looks like. It's not anything that should cause an issue. And we got a wire here, assumably a ground wire, and here the whole shebang lifts out. And what's that under there? Something in a can, an RF can. So we've got, oh, well, the speaker's pretty much shot. Not sure what the can is. Yep, that's all sealed. I'm not going to try to open that. Oh, there's a, looks like some kind of bug shell. So I don't see any actual shorts, but I do see some clips here that we can just pop the entire logic assembly out. And we can test the power supply. And ta-da! So if there is a power supply fault, we won't fry everything